Hi, today I'm going to be showing you how to make the puffy bow on Rainbow Loom. So the first thing that we are going to do is we're going to move our loom into the square set position by taking out the middle pin and placing it up so that all of the pegs are even. To see if you've done it right, you can stick your hook in between each of the empty spaces and it won't go diagonal. For this design, you will need 3 white rubber bands, a lot of orange rubber bands. That's what I'm using. But you can also use any other color that you'd like, preferably not white. You're going to need your Rainbow Loom or Fun Loom and your hook. So, the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to make the extensions. For this bracelet, I will be using my loom upside down. Okay, so for this design, I will always be using double bands. So if I don't specifically mention that I'm using them, I am using double bands. Okay, so I'm going to use, in order to make my extension, I'm going to use double orange bands and go down 4 times. Then I'm going to take single orange bands and I'm going to move down 4 times. 3, 4, just going right across. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to stick our hook inside of here and we're just going to go right around, hold this one down with our thumb, and bring forward these 2 orange rubber bands. Now this is just like looping a regular single, except there is an extra band to push back. So make sure that you're lifting up both. And there it is. Now, in many other designs, you might have seen that the extensions are kept in the 2 top pins. We, however, are not going to do that. We're going to keep them right down here on these bottom pins right here. So these 4. So now we can take the extension off of our loom by sticking our hook in and just pulling it out. We're going to put it on our first extension piece right here. Okay, now we're going to make another extension that is totally identical to the one we just made. So go down 4 times. And then we're going to go across 4 times, same as last time. And just loop them forward, just like in a single bracelet. Okay, now we're going to take this extension off of our loom by sticking our hook inside and just pulling it off. Now this extension is going to go right on our second spot, right here. Just like that. Okay, now we're going to go right back up here. And we're going to do the same thing except in a mirror image. So go down 4 times on the left side. Sorry, the right side. 4. And go across 4 times going up. Okay, now again we're going to hold this down with our thumb and loop it forward. Okay, now we're going to take this off of the loom and we're going to place it on our third extension area right down here. Okay, now we're going to make one more, I'm pretty sure you know how to do this already, so I won't be explaining what to do this time. And now we put this one on right here. Now we are going to start constructing our bows. So the first thing we're going to use double orange bands and go right out. Okay, then we're going to go down 5 times. Five times. We're going to do that on all 3 sides. And then we're going to go down right in the middle. Okay, now we are going to take 2 orange bands and go from the right pin into the center pin, and then from the left pin into the center pin. Just like that. We're going to go 1 forward, but before we continue, we are going to take 2 of our extensions and place them on. So we're going to take our first extension and place it right up here. I'm going to push those down. Okay, and we are going to place each of these down. Now, if you watched my cupcake charm video, it sometimes is a little bit hard to tell which one of these is for the last one. The one that goes on first, it's not going to open up, it's not going to close the butterfly wings, but when you pull on the right one that goes on the bottom, it's going to close up the butterfly wings. So we're going to go inside this one, and we're going to bring it down right over here. We're going to do the same with the next one. It's the last one. As you can see, when you pull on it, it closes up those butterfly wings. Bring it right down here and lift it right over like that. Okay, now before we place the next one on the other side, we need to do one thing. So we lift this up. Before we place it down, we're going to place a single band going across right here. And now we can take this off and place it right on top of that pin. Now we are going to be doing things the same way. It might be a little bit harder to grab the bands, however, because they're going the other way. If you'd like, you can pull those out first, just like I am. Just going to go down. And lift this one up and over, just like that. So now we're going to go down and do basically the exact same thing, except on the lower half of your loom. So you're going to just bring these down. You're going to go down 5 times. These are all double bands, by the way. Except, however, for this connecting band right here, this is a single band. So that is just one. This will be adding reinforcements to it later. It's 4. Now we're at 5. We're going to do the same on the other side. And then we're going to do the same thing in the middle. Oops. And then we are going to put these bands in. Just like that. And now we are going to add on our extensions. So we're going to take this extension right here that we just pulled off the bottom of our loom, and we're going to place it right on this pin. Now we're going to take these down. Now when you place these down, make sure that does not go over on the top like this. It needs to go right under, like that. It might look like you did something wrong, but you actually did it right, don't mind. Okay, and our last rubber band goes down there. Lift it over. Now we're going to do the same thing with the other side. Again, it might be a bit harder because they go the other way. This time, I think we're going to do it first. Now again, if you can remember the butterfly wings, the one that goes on the end, when you pull it down, it's going to make the butterfly wings close like that. Put this one down, lift it over, and now since that one closes the butterfly wings, it must be at the end. Lift that one up and bring this one over. So now it is time to start our hooking process. Check your loom to make sure it looks like mine. If you can look sideways. If your loom does not look like mine, then you might have done something wrong. You might want to recheck. Now make sure that these little triangles are on the top, just like that. Okay. Now we're going to go right inside of here and loop this one to the side. Now we're going to go inside one more time, and we're going to go to the side and get those 2 orange bands and loop them in just like this. It might look like you looped wrong, but don't worry, this is right. It's going to make a little X right here. That's what you want. You're going to loop in the middle, loop that one up. then loop the outsides up. Now you can either loop them double or one at a time like I'm doing right now. So this is a lot like the triple single bracelet, if you've ever made that one before, except you need to push back a lot more bands to get through. See, this time I'm hooking one at a time again. Okay, now you're eventually going to get to the point where these bands here are kind of in your way. Just ignore them basically, so just go under, grab your two bands or one at a time and bring them forward. And now when you loop this one here, it's actually a bit easier because this way you can just stick your hook in and there aren't too many to really push back. And you got that right there. But actually we did forget one thing. And that one thing that we forgot, we are going to lift up these top two bands. Just like that, and we're going to take one single rubber band, place it from here to here, and then replace it. And now we can move it from here onto there. Okay, now we're going to dig kind of inside of this one and bring this one forward. Bring the next one forward just like that. Okay, now when you get to the end of your loom, you are going to loop these bands inside just like this. Okay, now that's it for the first half. Now this band, it has a lot of strain on it and we don't have the other reinforcements on it yet. So you want to be very careful when you're looping this one that it doesn't snap. Okay, then you're going to go inside and do the same thing as before. Sorry. I usually don't loop one at a time, but I think you guys might want to know the different strategies, just in case looping two at a time is a bit harder for you. So we loop that side all the way up. And we're going to loop up the middle side right here. Just push back these rubber bands. And then when you get to the top, we're going to do the right side. And finally, once we are at the top, we are going to loop right in like that. Okay, now we are going to take two white rubber bands and you're going to reach inside all of those orange rubber bands right here. Take those oranges and pull them out just like that. It takes you a couple tries, that's okay because there are a lot of bands here. And then we're going to pull the back loop over the front loop or the front loop over the back loop. I, however, prefer to do like that, and pull. Okay, now it's time to take our Rainbow Loom bow off of the loom. Here's our first side of our Rainbow Loom bow. Now, if you see that you have an extra rubber band or something like that, you can just break that rubber band, but only if it's kind of hanging off the side. And now we're going to take off this side right here. Okay, now that we have our two sides of our bow, we're just going to take it right off of this middle pin. So now that we have this part of our bow finished, we are going to take 2 or 3 white rubber bands. I'm going to stretch them out a bit. We're going to double loop them. And we are just going to take the bow and slide it right through that double loop. And then just let it go right in the middle there. And now we are done making our Rainbow Loom bow. I hope you enjoyed, and you can also use this pattern to make a snowman if you added on some eyes, a nose, and a mouth here. I might post a tutorial for that later, but if you can figure it out, go ahead. This is my own original design, so please give credit to me. If you enjoyed, please subscribe, and please hit that like button down there. Thank you for watching.